The tale of Chief Lee Min-ho's rebellious blood vessels. In the heart of the great savannah, where the grasslands stretched farther than a giraffe's neck, lay the village of Wamalindi. Nestled between two rivers cheekily named Life and Death, Wamalindi was surrounded by forests so thick that even the sunlight needed a machete to get through. The people of Wamalindi were known for their strength, endurance, and ability to turn any situation into an excuse for a feast. They believed every creature had a role in the grand circle of existence. Except maybe mosquitoes, no one could figure out their purpose, but a silent enemy was brewing in this land of plenty where wastelands expanded faster than the savannah during the rainy season. It wasn't a fierce lion or a drought. Those they could handle with a spear and a rain dance. No, this enemy was far more insidious. It was known as Ududonka, the silent killer, or as modern medicine calls it, hypertension. Little did they know, their love for salted bushmeat and palm wine was about to come back to bite them in their well-padded behinds. Please, please, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on Instagram and Facebook, and share with your friends. This is a new channel. Help me grow it. Show some love and support. That being said, let's get back to the story. Chief Lee Min-ho was the heart of Wamalindi, both figuratively and, as it turned out, quite literally. Built like a baobab tree with arms as thick as pythons, he was known for his wisdom, fairness, and ability to out-eat anyone in the village. Lately, however, the only thing outgrowing his appetite was his blood pressure. The villagers noticed changes. Chief Lee Min-ho's powerful strides became more like the waddle of an overfed hippo. His booming voice, once able to startle birds from trees 3 villages over, now wheezed like a leaky balloon. He complained of headaches that felt like a herd of elephants doing the cha-cha in his skull. The women whispered that he'd been cursed by spirits. The men wondered if it was the stress of leadership, or perhaps the aftermath of trying every dish at the last festival. Chief Lee Min-ho, being a manly man's man, kept his suffering to himself, thinking it was just the universe's way of telling him to lay off the palm wine. But one fateful day during a riveting council meeting about the proper technique for yam stacking, Chief Lee Min-ho collapsed faster than a rookie wrestler facing the village champion. The thud of his fall caused a minor earthquake, and panic spread through the village like wildfire. Sorochi, the village healer, was summoned. Known for her knowledge of herbs and her cutting wit, Sorochi examined the chief with the precision of a leopard eyeing its prey. She gathered the elders and warriors in the chief's compound, her face as serious as a lion with a toothache.
Our chief is suffering from Ududonka,
she announced,
which is just a fancy way of saying his blood vessels are throwing a temper tantrum.
The elders exchanged confused glances. One whispered,
I thought Ududonka was that new dance craze the youngsters were doing.
Sorochi rolled her eyes so hard she nearly saw her brain.
No, you old coconuts. Ududonka is what we call hypertension. It's when your blood pressure decides to cosplay as a volcano, always on the verge of eruption.
She continued,
Imagine Chief Lee Min-ho's blood vessels are like the village streets during the market day, crowded and chaotic. Now picture his heart as a frantic town crier, shouting and banging a drum to get people to move. That's basically what hypertension is doing to our chief.
The village idiot, who somehow always managed to be present at important meetings, raised his hand.
So, the chief's blood is just really excited to be inside him?
Sorochi sighed deeply, contemplating a career change.
Not quite, dimwit. His blood pressure is higher than a monkey's after eating fermented fruit. Normal blood pressure should be less than 120/80 millirosmer. The chief's is probably high enough to launch him to the moon.
Ooh, space travel!
The idiot exclaimed. Ignoring him, Sorochi continued.
Hypertension is sneaky. It's like a leopard stalking its prey, silent and deadly. That's why they call it the silent killer. It can lead to heart attacks, strokes, and kidney failure faster than you can say, pass the palm wine.
The elders gasped collectively, creating a breeze strong enough to rustle nearby leaves.
But fear not,
Sorochi declared dramatically.
For I have heard of a wise man who lives beyond the river of life. His name is Dibia Aoko, and he's said to have knowledge of the human body that would make our ancestors' jaws drop. If they still had jaws, that is.
Nadi, the chief's eldest son, stood up.
I volunteer to go on this quest. I shall brave the treacherous rivers and battle fearsome beasts.
Oga, calm down, you 2-day ginger.
Sorochi said.
It's a 3-day walk, and the scariest thing you'll encounter is probably a cranky goat. But your enthusiasm is noted, Shah.
And so, armed with determination, a rudimentary understanding of cardiovascular health, and enough snacks to feed a small army, the brave and slightly confused warriors set out on their quest to save Chief Lee Min-ho from his rebellious blood pressure. As they approached the River of Life, the skies darkened. A storm brewed, turning the once calm river into a raging torrent. Just as they were about to cross, a massive wave rose from the river, taking the shape of a woman made entirely of water. It was Muomiri, the river spirit, and she looked about angrily.
Who goes? Who dares to cross my waters?
Her voice boomed, causing ripples in the river and the warriors' bladders. Nadi, summoning courage, he didn't know he had stepped forward.
O great and moisturized one, we seek to cross your waters to save our chief from the dreaded Ududonka.
The spirit's watery eyebrow raised.
Ududonka? What is that?
Please, as you enjoy this video, subscribe, like, comment, and set a notification for the next video. YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, A Health Folklore. Now back to my story. Sorochi, tired of the confusion, shouted,
It's hypertension, for crying out loud. High blood pressure. His cardiovascular system is more stressed than a gazelle at a lion's convention.
Oh,
the spirit said, her watery form rippling with understanding.
why didn't you say so? I know all about high blood pressure. You try keeping millions of gallons of water at the right level every day. Talk about pressure.
The spirit then proceeded to give them an impromptu lecture on the benefits of water for managing hypertension.
Staying hydrated is key.
She gurgled.
It helps your body flush out excess sodium. Aim for at least 8 glasses a day, more if you're a river spirit.
With a splash of her watery hand, she created a calm path across the river.
Cross safely and remember, reduce salt intake, exercise regularly, and manage stress.
As they crossed, Nadi couldn't help but think that this quest was turning out to be more educational than he'd bargained for. After a journey that felt longer than a tortoise's lifespan, they finally reached the abode of Dibia Aoko. His hut was a curious sight, festooned with strange herbs, bones, and what looked suspiciously like an apron. Dibia Aoko himself was an old man with a beard so long it could double as a jump rope. His eyes twinkled with the wisdom of ages and possibly a little bit of mischief. As the warriors explained their quest, the old man nodded sagely.
Ah, Ududonka,
He mused.
a formidable foe indeed. It's not a spirit or a curse, my friends. It's the result of lifestyle choices, and perhaps a few too many servings of your famous salted elephant stew.
He then launched into an explanation that left the warriors' heads spinning.
Your blood vessels,
He said, pulling out a crude drawing that looked like a child's attempt at spaghetti art.
are like the village pathways. High blood pressure is like having too many people rushing down these paths at once. The walls of the vessels stretch to accommodate the increased flow, potentially leading to damage.
The village idiot, who had somehow made the journey without anyone noticing, raised his hand.
So, the chief's blood is having a party in his veins?
Dibia Aoko chuckled.
Not quite, my dim-witted friend. It's more like his blood is stuck in rush hour traffic. But the traffic never ends.
He continued,
Hypertension can lead to serious problems. Heart attacks, strokes, kidney damage. It's like inviting a hungry lion to dinner and hoping it only eats the salad.
The old man then prepared a concoction of herbs that smelled like a compost heap on a hot day.
These herbs will help, but they're not a magical cure. The chief needs to make changes. Less salt, more fruits and vegetables, regular exercise. Perhaps start with walking, then work up to outrunning an angry warthog.
As an afterthought, he added,
Oh, and tell him to cut back on the palm wine. His liver will thank him, even if his dance moves suffer.
Armed with this wisdom and holding their noses against the herb smell, they began their journey back to Wamalindi. The return to Wamalindi was met with much fanfare, mostly because the villagers were glad to have someone new to talk to after days of nothing but yam-stacking gossip. Sorochi wasted no time in preparing the herbal remedy, which looked like swamp water and smelled only marginally better. Chief Lee Min-ho, faced with the choice between the foul-smelling concoction and his current state, bravely pinched his nose and gulped it down. But the real challenge was yet to come. Sorochi called a village meeting to discuss the lifestyle changes needed to keep the chief, and potentially the whole village, healthy.
From now on,
She announced.
we're going to treat salt like it's rarer than a quiet moment in the monkey enclosure. Chief Lee Min-ho, that means no more using it as a garnish on everything, including fruit.
The chief grumbled something about bland food and cruel and unusual punishment.
Next,
Sorochi continued.
we're all going to exercise more. And no, walking to the palm wine tap doesn't count as exercise.
She introduced a new village activity, daily runs,
Imagine you're being chased by a lion,
she suggested.
a very slow, out-of-shape lion that you can outpace with a brisk walk.
The village idiot, ever present, asked.
Can we outrun hypertension?
Sorochi sighed.
No, but with these changes, we might be able to stay one step ahead of it.
As the days passed, remarkable changes took place. Chief Lee Min-ho's blood pressure began to lower, and his energy returned. The chief, once skeptical, became a convert to a healthy lifestyle. I feel as sprightly as a young gazelle, he declared one day, right before tripping over his own feet. In the end, Wamalindi learned a valuable lesson about health, the importance of lifestyle changes, and the dangers of ignoring what your body is telling you. They also learned that a diet high in fruits and vegetables can have some rather musical side effects, but that's a story for another day. And so, dear reader, we leave the village of Wamalindi, its people healthier, its chief no longer at risk of popping like an overinflated balloon, and its idiot, well, still an idiot, but a well-hydrated one at least. Remember, whether you're a village chief or a humble farmer, take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got. Eat healthy, exercise regularly, go for regular checkups, and avoid salt. What did you learn? Who was your best character? What names would you like me to use in the next video? Kindly leave a comment below and click like as well. Please show some support by clicking the subscribe button and set a notification for the next video. YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Health Folklore.